considered my brain tizzied. Scared. Hi, it's me. You can call me BP. Welcome back to my channel. And today, February 22nd, the day I'm filming this, we are officially less than 2 weeks away from the 911 mid-season premiere on March 6th. And a couple days ago, on the 20th, on the Thursday, we got so much more information about what's to come in 8B, and I'm scared, and I've got a long list of notes. Let's just dive into it because there's so much. Okay, from my last mid-season check-in, if you haven't seen it, it'll be linked somewhere. We got the new promo for 8B. We also got the title for episode 9, which is the first episode that airs on March 6th. And then we've got some behind the scenes of Buck and Eddie's goodbye outside of Eddie's house in the rain, which caused many people, myself included, to spiral. The title of 8-9, which will air on March 6th, is called Sob Stories. The new news that we've got is months and months ago, we got wind that there was going to be a new 911 spinoff, but we weren't sure where the location was. Some people were thinking Vegas. Some people were thinking about Hawaii. I, for one, was thinking about putting it in like bumfuck nowhere, middle America. That would have been incredible. But we have confirmation that the next 911 spinoff.
Let's go, girls.
We're going to Nashville, baby. The new show, 911 Nashville, is going to be written and executive produced by Ryan Murphy and Tim Minear, who were a part of both of the other spinoffs, and then the showrunner from Lone Star, as well as Brad Falchuk will be roped back in, same with Angela Bassett, which is really exciting. This has received a straight to series order, which I've seen people on Twitter talk about how that's like not super common, which makes people believe that there's some big name that has signed on for it, which I'm super excited. I don't know who it could be. I'm not really in the world. Please, what if it's Glenn Powell? It would not be Glenn Powell. But listen, all that I know is that 911 Nashville needs to give me a buddy-esque ship with women. With women. Where are the lesbians? Bring them to me. Thank you. We also then got confirmation that I would assume it's the third episode of Dr. Odyssey, because Dr. Odyssey also has a two-part premiere with sharks. They are going to have a crossover with 911, and guess who's going to be on board of the Odyssey? Athena Grant. Athena Grant is going to be on board that cruise ship. The writer actually said, fuck your trauma, we don't care. Get on that ship. Get on it. I have been watching Dr. Odyssey. I do enjoy it, and so I am excited about this crossover, even though it's like not a dual crossover. It's just like one character from 911 going over, which is fine. It's going to take place during Casino Week, where Athena's on the ship and she, quote, suspects 2 passengers are targeting the ship's vault. Enlisting Max's help, Athena raises the stakes in a dangerous game where not everyone will end up with a winning hand. So that should be interesting. I wonder how they're going to get her on a cruise to begin with, because she didn't even want to go to the goddamn cruise in the first place on her honeymoon with her husband. How are they going to get her? It's not that serious. I need to calm down. Anyway, yeah, I think it's going to be very interesting. I'm super excited to see it. I have been really enjoying Dr. Odyssey. Let me know if you want me to talk about it. TV Insider asked Angela Bassett on the red carpet about what's to come in 8B, and here's the clip.
Is there anything you can tease about the second half of 911 season 8?
The second half. Well, Bobby and Athena, they will find a place to call home, a roof over their heads. You know, they will find a new place that they can agree on. I think that's majorly so. I know I have been too, because that corporate living is not that life that you want.
So that's exciting. Because obviously that's been like a point of tension between the two of them, is finding a house that they both like. So we have confirmation that Athena is getting a roof of their own in the second half of the season. Super exciting. We also got 2 articles from today with Oliver Stark, not my cat, don't worry. If you didn't already see, I posted about it on my community tab, but Oliver played in the NBA All-Star Celebrity Basketball game on Valentine's Day. And they released an interview ahead of the basketball game, kind of talking about Oliver, his love of basketball, Buck's hatred of basketball, and then kind of talking about kind of the whole basketball arc. So the interview asks Oliver that Tim Minear gave strong descriptions for what Buck is feeling in the mid-season finale. Buck is going to be spinning like a top. Buck looks like he's been hit in the head with a baseball bat. In your own words, how would you describe where we're going to find Buck in the March 6th premiere? I'll put it up on screen so you can read it too. But what's really interesting is that there's a lot of tension in the upcoming episodes between characters that we don't often see tension between. Sus. A fraught and intense atmosphere for a healthy portion of it. Scared. Our main characters are a pretty tight-knit group, whereas we're going to be looking at what happens when you kind of start to tug at the thread and you just keep pulling and pulling and pulling, and you watch as a lot of things unravel as it goes. I don't want it to unravel. Knit it back together. Come on. Grab your needles, you can do it. And then the interviewer pivots and she says back to basketball and back to specifically 7-4, Buck bothered and bewildered. I'm wondering in the wake of the breakup with Tommy, now that Eddie's saying he's leaving, is there more to explore regarding Buck's feelings in 7-4? Those feelings of jealousy, which all came to a head during the basketball scene, is there more to unpack? And Oliver says, definitely. I think they're going to be kind of explored and looked at in a way that is more obvious than kind of ever been done before in the show, to an extent where I was actually surprised by the extent to which it's going to be explored. So yeah, no, absolutely, that is to come soon. And then she asks specifically the feeling of jealousy, and then Oliver says, not that specifically, but just kind of an exploration of what the feelings are that came to a head in the episode. Yeah, I'll say no more than that. So, what other feelings were in that episode? There was jealousy. Okay, cool. So that article kind of sent people into a tizzy, myself included. Considered my brain tizzied. Then a couple days ago, we got another interview from this same woman from Today, talking with Oliver about season 8 and the episode that he's most excited for. Shout out Maddie Ellis. We love her. So she asked Oliver where we left off with episode 8, November, that last look as Buck hears Eddie is planning to move. If you could give voice to Buck's inner monologue with that expression, what is he thinking right then? I think it's a case of a huge part of his world being taken away, and something he's placed a lot of stability on. I would think so. Realizing the removal of that is possibly going to cause a number of things to crumble around him. I think obviously he wants to be there for Eddie and be supportive, but it's hard not to think about yourself in that situation and what he's losing in the fight that Eddie has to go and get his son back. And I love the way that she worded this. It's a recurring theme for Buck. Abandonment. People leaving. How will this parallel that? How will the feelings seem paired? And Oliver says, I think those feelings are going to be amplified as well, especially in the first episode of the season, the Sob Stories episode. And Buck is really going to be put in that place of feeling abandoned, and he's going to react to it in a really, I don't want to say this about myself, I say this about the story, a really cute way, and I think that will go down very well with the viewers of the show. Put a pin in that. Put a pin in that in your brain. We're coming back to that, okay? We're coming back to that. She then asks Oliver about Buck and Christopher's dynamic, and Oliver basically says, like, I don't necessarily think they would be in contact because it would feel like Buck was going behind Eddie's back, and just kind of like not wanting to cross that line with Eddie, because anyway, I'll put it up on the screen so you can read that part. She then goes on to ask about how Buck is handling the loss of like Christopher and Eddie, and Oliver says that like he just seems to be running from them, not running from them, but through them, keeping himself busy, because I think Buck is really like, if I keep moving and if I keep doing things, the sad can't catch me. And then Oliver kind of talks about like the boundaries he has about like not interacting with like 911 content on social media, just kind of holding that boundary, which is great. I don't want to be perceived by Oliver Stark. Please don't. If I don't want Oliver Stark to perceive me. So if Oliver Stark ever sees any of my posts, please click not interested. I don't want you to see me. And then she wraps up the interview with asking him, is there an episode in the back half that you're most excited about? And he says episode 11, I think, is really special. Not even just because of the story, but one of our own directed it. One of the cast directed it, which is the first time that's happened on the show. So that was a really special experience for me. Not me, the director, me, the actor on the show. It's not me. I think I'm really excited for that to air just because I think it's a really special moment and it's for this particular actor's first time doing it. So yeah, it felt like a big moment. And then she asks, I imagine it's a secret for now. And Oliver says, I think so. I'm pretty sure it'll be revealed ahead of time, but I think they're keeping it a secret for now. Which, that's all fine and dandy. I'm super excited. I have my theories about who directed that episode. I'm super excited. It'll be super fun. Now, to the part that sent everyone into a spiral, into a more of a tizzy, losing their minds, we've got the episode titles for 810 and 811, right? 810 voices. That's just that, right? And we know based on like the promo that it's going to be a 2-part premiere. So it'll be sob stories and voices are going to be the 2 kidnapping arcs, right? And then we've got 811, which is entitled Holy Mother of God. One more time. Holy Mother of God. So, scared, terrified even, because many people, myself included, think that Holy Mother of God is going to be an episode focused on Eddie, Texas, Catholicism, Christopher, directed by none other than Ryan Guzman. If you're deep in the lore like me, you know that Ryan's life kind of mirrors Eddie's life in like more than like in like a pretty like uncomfortable way of just kind of like where he was raised, the way, anyway, I'm not going to go into that. I wonder if it's going to be Ryan. I also wonder if it's going to be Kenneth Choi. I think he could do that, but I feel like what Oliver said of like, this is the first time this person's doing something. I'm pretty sure Jennifer's directed something, same with Angela and Peter. So it just kind of leaves Kenneth, Ryan, and Oliver, and we know it's not Oliver. So cool. Like absolutely so cool. I'm being so chill about this. And then a cherry on top, the last piece of information we finally got is we got the synopsis for 8-6 sob stories. We got the synopsis for 8-9 sob stories, which reads, the 118 responds to a fire at a local animal shelter and races to evacuate all the animals. Meanwhile, Maddie takes a 911 call that sets her on a quest for answers. Maddie, why are you going on quests? You're pregnant. Sit down. Let the cops do the quests. You don't have to figure it out. Anyway, remember that pin that I told you to place? All right, let's go back to it. Let's unpin it where Oliver said, quote, he's going to react to it in a really, and I don't say this about myself, I say this about the story, a really cute way. And I think that will go down very well with the viewers of the show, right? So he's talking about in the first episode of the season he meant the back half of the season, right? Sob stories. You know what they just said in the sob stories is they're going to go to an animal rescue place. You know who loves animals? Oliver Stark. You know who brings his animals to set? Oliver Stark. You know who's been seen on set with his 2 massive ass dogs? Oliver Stark. Now, delete the whole like this isn't a probable situation. It's a TV show. We're going to do what we want, right? What if Buck goes and tries to save all of these animals and finds a dog and adopts a dog, and Buck gets a dog? Nay, I would love for Buck to get a cat or maybe a bird. Buck with a bird would be incredible. I think Buck's gonna get an animal and treat it as like his like emotional support thing, and I think it's gonna be incredible, and I think it'll be great. Suspend your like critical thinking of like, oh yeah, well he's a firefighter who works like 12-hour shifts. It doesn't matter for the storyline. Yeah, we've got a lot of things that are going to go wrong. Not even could go wrong. They are going to go wrong, which, you know, is going to be super fun. super fun, super exciting. We love when things go wrong. It'll be a very stressful 3 weeks, I fear, of between 8, 9, 8, 10, and 8, 11. But it'll be fun. I can't wait. What are y'all's thoughts? Do you think Buck's gonna get a dog? Do you think Maddie is gonna be the only one who's gonna get kidnapped? Because I know a lot of people think it's more than one person. Who's gonna direct the episode? Is Christopher coming back this season? What's going on there? Share with me your theories. I love to read them. I'm so excited. The countdown's close. We're almost to single digits. I can't wait. Okay? I will see you in my next one. And hopefully by my next one, I mean a recap of the first episode and we don't have any crazy shit that gets dropped in the meantime, between time. But I can't promise that. Okay, well, until then.